So, walking through the woods again, I had a thought that life is interesting. The reason that I got to this thought is I like looking at the trees, right? And I saw a tree that clearly is in stages of rot, disease, things of that nature. So, I'm just like, okay, it has to go back to the earth at some point for the earth to be able to process it and understand how to, for lack of a better word, alchemize it. You feel me? To learn that particular brand of disease right, because you can tell it has disease on it, so that it can later learn and expunge it. And we do that same process. But in my mind, I looked at it as like bad, but in reality, it's nor good nor bad. It really isn't. What we look at as goodness and badness is realistically just various aspects of life's expression. Neither good nor bad. We have created these definitions through societal norms based on how we would like to experience life in proximity to others, because we are experiencing life in a collective while experiencing it as a singularity. For example, I'm the only person who perceives the way that I perceive, just like if you're watching this, you're the only person that perceives the way that you perceive. We can watch the same thing and literally get two different experiences. Anyway, so as I'm going through that thought process, I realize that life is an expression of itself. So, for example, all things come into fruition through the assistance of another. Same way you birth children, same way you birth creativity, ideas, concepts, music, anything in existence is an expression of life. It's life's ability to express itself, but it requires the assistance of another. So it goes back to the paradigm of, realistically, we experience life as a singularity, but to perceive life, it is done as a duality. And this is very interesting because I came to this notion, this path, this thought process. I think about this I like to think about life and existentialism and all that other stuff, right? Often. It's an enjoyable process. But I came to this component because I thought about, again, the tree in its phases of dying, because it is in its phases of dying, right? Transitioning into new concepts, new energies, as, you feel me, it goes back into where it came from, the earth, right? As we all will at some point. And then turn into stardust at some point, you feel me? These are all forms of self-expression of life. And interestingly enough, in the same way that you can't tell people how to grieve, right? We can't tell people how to die. We can't tell people how to live. That's not our process. We can observe it. We can learn from it. We can try to navigate how not to be or how to be. But we are in no more control over a thing as a thing is in control over us. Ironically, we talk about concepts of goodness and badness, and we talk about concepts of morality and things of that nature. But realistically, those are self-derived. This is why religion and things of that nature exist, to help people find commonality amongst morality. But even within that space, they don't necessarily find commonality in morality. I have standards that realistically you could say, I don't want to be held to your standards. Yeah, it's the same premise. So it gets to the point of what is, it's when you keep walking back to things, it's really like the reasons that anything exists is really based on the level of influence that that concept has had throughout life. So the fact that we don't eat people no more, you feel me? It's based on the influence of societal shame. That is not okay, you know? Or why some places eat certain animals versus other animals, or why we eat what we eat. Societal agreement, societal shame, scrutiny, collective thought, collective agreement. So, yeah, these are interesting concepts that I often sit with. You get to a point in life where a lot of stuff be irrelevant. And yeah, it's what it is. But yeah, tell me. I'm always open to hearing thoughts and concepts that other people have. Um, the older I get, the more life surprises me and allows me to redefine my own thought processes or expand my thought processes. I feel like I tend to be a very open mind for a lot of things. But I also have a high degree of morality.